And again, this is for all the parents that out there that have teens. Saleema is here, a sex educator. And there was recently an article in the Globe and Mail talking about a book that talked about the issue of teen prostitution, how we're starting to see more and more teens getting involved in prostitution, especially in the middle classes. And when I read this article, when I saw bits of the documentary, it was frightening to me. Is this really that big a problem?
Well, we're not talking about teens prostituting themselves on the street corner, Dawn. What we're talking about is teenage girls in schools exchanging sex for stuff. And that is very concerning. Now, I want to make it really clear that it's not every girl in middle school that's doing this, exchanging oral sex in a bathroom, for example, for attention or for something material. But it is a problem because we need to really make sure that our girls are armed with the self-esteem and the decision-making skills to respect their body and not doing anything that's going to come with some major responsibilities and consequences after the fact.
And you brought up oral sex in the bathroom because that is essentially the gist of this whole documentary. You're saying it's not that big a deal, right?
Yeah, unfortunately what I see in my work in schools and from what teens tell me, there's a general very casual attitude toward oral sex among teens. And so what we're seeing is girls, for example, performing oral sex on a random guy at a party to get their attention or to get them to notice them. Or some girls tell me they do it because it gives them a sense of power, to give pleasure to someone else. Or they do it because they want to become part of a specific group. There are many reasons for them doing this, but unfortunately, although it starts out in their minds quite benign, it snowballs quickly. They then hear that if they do it to 3 guys at a party, they could get $50. And for them, it's no big deal. It takes 3 minutes. They get $50. They can go buy that guest bag they've been wanting for a while. The author of this book, Oral Sex is the New Goodnight Kiss, she refers to this as luxury fever. And I think that is what we're seeing among young girls, is just this insatiable need for material goods. And they're willing to do just about anything to be able to have those.
Yeah, so I mean, like, the whole thing is, I think the parents that are out there are probably going, oh gosh, like, how do I even know this is happening? Like, is there any kind of sign that a parent can go, okay, this might be happening with my child. They have a casual, laid-back attitude. You know, and again, these are fresh-faced teens. These are teens that are smart in school. These are in the basketball team.
They're in the popular crowd.
So how do the parents even get a clue?
And, well, I think it's important for parents to keep it in perspective and understand that, you know, it's not an epidemic, but it all comes down to prevention and the importance of parents to start talking to their children early about this stuff in a general way. It's not very effective for parents to say, so have you given a guy oral sex in a bathroom? Of course they're not going to talk.
Right.
But if you talk generally about teens and their behavior, they'll be more likely to. So for a parent to ask a question to their preteen or teen, like, so, you know, I was reading this article today in the paper in the Globe and Mail about girls performing oral sex on guys in bathrooms. Does that really happen? Enlighten me.
Right.
And then you can have a conversation about it.
Well, in the next segment, and coming up just after the break, we are going to talk about how important sex education is for teens, and not just with sex educators, but also with the parents at home.
It really
By
does
the
start
way,
at home.
you're referring to that article, and we're talking about this article. If you want to read it maybe quickly before we come into the next segment, you can go to our website, breakfasttelevision.ca, to get a little insight, and certainly we'll continue this discussion and what you as a parent can do to help get your teens on the right track. And it's important for girls and boys, and we'll talk about that as well.
Oh yeah, not just girls, boys as well.
All right, stay with us. You're watching Breakfast Television.